Attention, Raider Nation. Rumors circulating about Kolton Miller and Jacoby Meyers have been raising serious concern. And if they hold any truth, we could be staring down a shift in the team's long-term strategy. Word is coming from Vincent Bonsignore of the Las Vegas Review-Journal, and his take is that the Raiders aren't planning to extend either of these key players this offseason. That's a bold claim, and frankly, it made my ears perk up immediately. Those are big decisions for the franchise, especially considering the investment they've already made in Geno Smith and their aspirations for sustained success. Think about what Miller has meant for this team. Since arriving in 2018, he's anchored the offensive front, providing stability and consistent performance that any franchise would covet. Sure, he had to work through shoulder surgery last offseason, but by mid-season, specifically from week 6 through 18, he returned to form. He allowed just a single sack during that stretch, proof positive that he remains in the top echelon of NFL left tackles. He declared he wants to be a Raider for life, and many around the organization have confirmed that front office openness to retaining him is real, provided the price is right. But here's where the friction lies: the asking price. Bonsignore estimates that Miller is seeking top-tier tackle money, somewhere in the vicinity of $20 million per year. Comparisons are being drawn to Dion Dawkins, who secured a high-value contract as he entered his early 30s. It stands to reason that Miller, who's 29 now and coming off a strong performance, would want that kind of deal. The team, however, seems hesitant. They're reportedly balking at meeting those figures, and that hesitation is strange given how critical he is to protecting Geno Smith's blind side. And if you look at the cap situation, the Raiders are sitting comfortably with about $31 or $32 million in available space, ranking around 9th in the league. Money is there, yet the team appears reluctant to act. Adding another layer to this is the emergence of Charles Grant, a third-round rookie with promise. Grant has impressed during OTAs and minicamp, and some feel he could take over for Miller by the 2026 season. That speculation gives the Raiders some leverage. They can wait and see if Grant is ready, rather than immediately investing in Miller. That's a dangerous gamble, though. Grant is still raw, and rushing him into a starting role could backfire, turning him into another Brandon Parker. Serviceable, but unspectacular and inconsistent. Bonsignore suggests his prediction is that the Raiders will sit on Miller this year, monitor his performance under Chip Kelly and the new offensive line coach Brennan Carroll, then decide in spring of 2026 whether to sign him to a $20 to $23 million deal or hand the right tackle reins to Grant. But holding off feels like a misstep. Why extend Geno Smith without locking down his premier protector? The timing is off, and for me, the message it sent to the rest of the roster is even worse. If Miller shows up for voluntary offseason workouts, proves himself on the field, but doesn't receive any immediate commitment, what does that say to the next veteran who's invited to invest off-season time in redemption or leadership? Let's be real. Miller has earned this. He's proven proud and valuable. The Raiders have the cap room, and his leadership, on and off the field, is an asset. In a league where trust and culture matter, not extending him now could hurt more than saving a few million in guaranteed money. The plan feels incomplete. Geno gets paid, the offense gets revamped, but the cornerstone protecting the quarterback is left uncertain. It just doesn't align with a team trying to build something sustainable. Next up is Jacoby Meyers, coming off his first 1,000-yard receiving season. 870 receptions, 1,027 yards, and 4 touchdowns. He's quietly emerged as one of the most reliable pass catchers in the league. And he did it all with questionable quarterback play. Think Gardner Minshew, Aiden O'Connell, Jimmy Garoppolo, even Desmond Ridder. Despite inconsistent QB play and iffy coaching, Meyers produced. His consistency is underrated. Just last season, I saw 0 drops when others flagged him. His numbers confirm it. More catches than Mike Evans and DK Metcalf combined over the last few years. He ranks 17th in total receptions league-wide during that stretch. That's serious production. Yet, Bonsignore's angle is that the Raiders may pass on extending him this offseason too, or at least push the decision another year. Their rationale: They drafted multiple receivers, Jack Beck, Dante Thornton Jr., Tommy Maloff, and Trey Tucker also showed signs of growth. That depth, the argument goes, gives them insurance if Meyers walks in free agency. But again, why roll that dice? Meyers is criminally underrated, a reliable target who not only produces but also brings character. He's not a diva. He's the antithesis of the flashy, drama-prone wideout. He shows up. He delivers. He fits the locker room culture and plays with the kind of humility that can hold an offense together, even one that may pivot to a run-first identity. Financially, locking Meyers in now makes sense too. Estimates hover around $17 to $18 million annually. A 3-year, $58 million package with $35 million guaranteed seems fair. My own projection was 2 years for $40 million, fully guaranteed. Meaning even with bonuses, a 3-year deal would come in near $55 million, averaging 18.3 per. That's solid value for a top 30 receiver, and it locks in continuity for Geno and the offense. Again, the cap space is available. The cap is rising. But if we wait until next offseason, you unleash bidding wars. Open market. Teams will pay more. Meyers' value only increases if he continues to produce, and suddenly you're in a higher cost situation. Or worse, you risk losing him and being stuck with inexperienced depth. It baffles me. You trade for a quarterback, you extend him, yet you refuse to lock in his blindside protector or his #1 target. If the Raiders truly believe in their current timeline, this is a 2 to 3 year window. They should act decisively. Miller at 29 is hitting his prime for a left tackle. Meyers at 28 is just reaching his prime for a wide receiver. The smart move? 2-year deals for both, locking them into the core for the next 3 seasons. Don't wait. Reward production. Show the rest of the roster that the organization honors character, effort, and loyalty. That's the message to send. Because if you let these guys walk or sit for another year, you might end up regretting it. The cap next year will be higher. Other teams will chase them, and Charles Grant might not be ready. Trey Tucker, Dante, as good as they look now, they're still unproven. The Raiders have a golden moment. New quarterback, fresh system under Chip Kelly, core pieces in place. Protect them, build around them, and don't leave holes where there shouldn't be any. In short, postponing this is short-sighted. Extend Miller and Meyers now. It's time to commit to the culture, to the players who not only perform, but who show up, who lead, who want to build something real. The Raiders have made big moves this offseason, but signing these two would be the smartest ones yet. Now let's talk about risk. People love to say that big contracts come with big risks, but not extending these two players comes with even bigger ones. You don't want to get caught in a situation where Charles Grant isn't ready, or Dante Thornton doesn't develop, and suddenly you're scrambling. You're looking around in free agency, realizing that you could have had these two guys locked down for reasonable deals, and instead, you're in bidding wars with the rest of the league, or worse, trying to fill holes with untested rookies. That's the kind of misstep that costs teams playoff berths. That's the kind of gamble that turns a rebuild into a restart. The smarter path is to get ahead of the curve. Use your leverage now. Talk to these players before their prices soar. Show them you believe in them before they're in a position to demand even more. Because let's be honest, if Kolton Miller puts together another elite season and stays healthy, the $20 to $23 million range could jump closer to 25. If Jakobi Meyers goes off with Geno Smith under center and puts up another 1,000-yard campaign, his market value isn't going to be 17 or 18 million. It's going to be 20 or more. Every catch, every block, every clean pass pocket is money you're adding to that tab if you wait. And let's not forget how this reflects on the front office. The Raiders have been lauded this offseason for making sharp, calculated moves. Trading for Geno Smith before the market exploded was a proactive decision. Restructuring contracts, adding depth through the draft. It all points to a team that has a clear plan. So why stop now? Why hesitate when it comes to your most dependable lineman and your most consistent wideout? It feels like a disconnect, and for a franchise trying to shake off years of inconsistency and poor roster management, this would be a bad time to fall back into old habits. This moment, this exact offseason, is your chance to signal to the rest of the league in your own locker room that this is a new era. The Pete Carroll era. The Geno Smith chapter. And that era includes locking in foundational pieces. Think about how many teams regret letting culture guys walk. It's never just about stats. Look at teams like the Steelers, the Ravens, or the 49ers. They're built on retaining the right guys, not just the flashy ones. Guys who represent the team well, who make life easier for coaches, who bring consistency every Sunday. Colton Miller and Jakobi Meyers check every one of those boxes. You also have to look at the trajectory of the league. Every season, the salary cap rises. Every offseason, contracts get bigger. Well, it's like a rich deal in July of this year might look like a bargain next March. That's just the nature of the NFL economy. You think paying Jakobi Meyers $18 million now is high? Wait until a guy like Drake London or Garrett Wilson resets the market. Suddenly, you'll wish you had that cap certainty. The same goes for Colton Miller. He's still under 30. He's coming off another top-tier season. The moment his camp sees a Trent Williams or Laramie Tunsil extension, they're going to want to match or beat it. The time to act is now, before the leverage swings too far in the player's favor. Let's also touch on the idea of building chemistry. Geno Smith is stepping into a new system with new teammates, new terminology, and new expectations. Wouldn't it make sense to ensure that his blind side is protected by a proven veteran who's already familiar with the offense's core structure? Wouldn't it be wise to give him a target like Jakobi Meyers, who understands zone defenses, knows how to find soft spots, and can serve as a safety valve when things break down? You don't want your quarterback adjusting to the team while simultaneously breaking in a rookie left tackle and a brand-new receiving core. That's a recipe for disaster. You need stability. You need familiarity. And that starts with locking down the guys who've already proven they belong. There's a leadership element here, too. Colton Miller has been a captain. Jakobi Meyers isn't just a productive player. He's a guy who leads by example. You extend those guys not just for the stats, but for the standards they set in practice, in film study, in the locker room. You show the younger guys what it takes to be a pro. You create continuity that's critical in building a winning culture. The Raiders have had too many resets, too many do-overs. This is the chance to double down on continuity, to reward the core that's already in place, and to stabilize the roster going forward. And yes, there will be other financial priorities. You got to think about Max Crosby. You got to think about your young guys coming up through the draft. But the cap isn't static. There's room to work. Creative structuring exists for a reason. Spread out guarantees. Front-load bonuses. The tools are there if the front office is willing to use them. You don't want to be the team that has all the ingredients but refuses to cook. You got a quarterback in place. You've got coaching continuity. You've got veterans who want to stay. What more do you need? Let's not underestimate the fan factor either. Raider Nation is tired of losing guys they've grown to respect. They've seen too many stars walk. They've watched too many seasons unravel because of poor roster decisions. Retaining Miller and Meyers will be a signal to the fans that things really are different this time. That the front office isn't just building for next year, but for sustained, smart success. That they recognize value beyond raw numbers. That loyalty is still rewarded. That if you wear the shield with pride and you perform, you'll be taken care of. Because make no mistake, if Colton Miller and Jakobi Meyers both have solid seasons and hit the open market, you're not getting both of them back. Maybe you get lucky with one. But two, that's not how this league works. And then you're in scramble mode, overpaying in free agency or hoping a mid-round draft pick pans out immediately. That's not how contenders operate. That's how desperate teams operate. And the Raiders are trying to leave desperation behind. So, to wrap up this message, the clock is ticking. Colton Miller and Jakobi Meyers have done everything right. They've produced. They've led. They've shown up. Now it's the Raiders' turn. Make the commitment. Lock them in. Protect your quarterback. Provide him with weapons. Build the culture. Cement the foundation. This offseason has already been strong, but securing these two pieces would take it from strong to strategic, from smart to complete. The time is now, and Raider Nation is watching. Before we continue, don't forget to subscribe to our channel and give this video a like. Your support helps us keep bringing you the latest updates on our Las Vegas Raiders. And don't be shy. Drop your thoughts on the news in the comments below. Whispers around the NFL have been growing louder this week, with a potential blockbuster move that could shake up the league's defensive landscape. Rumors suggest that T.J. Watt, the star linebacker who has been a cornerstone for the Pittsburgh Steelers, might be packing his bags and heading to Las Vegas to join the Raiders. While nothing is official yet, sources close to the situation hint at intense negotiations and the possibility of Watt signing a mega contract with the Raiders, which would immediately alter the balance of power in the AFC. T.J. Watt has long been recognized as one of the most dominant defensive players in the NFL. With multiple All-Pro selections and Defensive Player of the Year awards under his belt, his ability to disrupt offenses with relentless pass rushing and versatile coverage skills makes him a prized asset. The Steelers have built their defense around Watt's extraordinary talents, but contract discussions this offseason have reportedly hit some roadblocks, opening the door for other franchises to step in. Las Vegas, known for making bold moves to bolster their roster, appears to be leading the charge to lure Watt away from Pittsburgh. The Raiders have been eager to upgrade their defense, and acquiring a player of Watt's caliber would send a strong message to their rivals. According to insiders, the deal on the table could be a record-setting contract for a defensive player, highlighting just how desperate the Raiders are to land this game-changing talent. The implications of this move, if it materializes, are massive. The Steelers would be losing not only a defensive leader, but a fan favorite and team face. Meanwhile, the Raiders would gain a player capable of instantly elevating their defense and bringing playoff aspirations closer to reality. Fans and analysts alike are buzzing with speculation on how this could reshape the AFC West and the entire league. While official confirmation remains elusive, the chatter has NFL circles buzzing with anticipation. Will T.J. Watt on the silver and black of Las Vegas? Or will the Steelers find a way to keep their defensive ace? The coming days promise intense drama as negotiations continue, and the possibility of one of the biggest free agency moves in recent memory looms large over the NFL offseason. Stay tuned, as this developing story could rewrite the narrative for both franchises. That's it for this update. If you enjoyed the video and want to stay updated with exclusive news about our Las Vegas Raiders, be sure to subscribe to our channel and hit that like button. We can't wait to hear your thoughts in the comments. See you in the next video.